Hello everyone, welcome to Intelligently Inspired Podcast. I'm your host Brahma and welcome to another episode. It's the second Monday of September. I hope you all are having a great month and having a great time. And as you read the title, we are going to make it better. We are going to make it more productive. As you know, last few months I have been studying and I have used a lot of productivity hacks and tips which have worked. And also, many of the productivity hacks didn't work. And in this episode, I will tell you 3 productivity hacks that will help you to increase your productivity and 3 mistakes that I did. So let's get started. So the first productivity hack that I have for you is really important, and it is get into a fitness regime. But it's not for your body. Yeah, David Goggins do this. He train his mind by pushing the limits of his body. And I heard it on Joe Rogan podcast and I found it really interesting. What happens when you get a fitness regime and do it constantly and continuously? It builds a sense of discipline that help us to do every activity we do. And most of the productivity problems that we have are because of discipline. We lack discipline. But getting a fitness regime really helps. And if you are young, you should especially get into yoga. And I am saying this because on the Ranveer Show podcast, writer Sudha Murthy was asked what is her one advice for the youth that she would like to give. And she said this: the young generation should get into yoga as early as possible because yoga creates that discipline we want and also gives our body flexibility, which is really important. And I would even say it is more important than our muscles. I have also got into fitness after listening to David Goggins and all the podcasts. Means I was doing some exercises, but I stopped and got too serious in my exam and all and found a reason to not do exercise. But I'm back again. So that end our first tip. So let's get into second tip. And this tip I have covered in a one whole episode earlier when I decided to start season 2 6 months ago. But then I cancelled it and the episode was on cold shower. Yeah, I think cold shower really helps. In the morning, it makes you uncomfortable and gives you that adrenaline boost, which is really helpful. It gets you into fight or flight mode, and which is a really important. And by cold shower, I'm not telling you to go and sit into cold water. But I found this idea of Swedish bath on Project Elon channel, which is a complete productivity channel, and it is really helpful. You should go and subscribe there for sure. You wouldn't regret it. So the Swedish bath thing is you take 1 bucket of cold water, then 1 bucket of hot water, and then again 1 bucket of cold water while taking your bath. And this particularly gives you benefits of both cold water and hot water, and which is really good. And I am doing it for almost a year now. And bathing with cold water is more mental than physical. Your brain just tells you don't do it, and you can't even hear what he is saying, but he just says no. But once you start doing it, after the first few seconds, it completely accepts it and adjust your body, which is really interesting to see. And I am sure that this is not the first time you are hearing this tip from someone. Cold shower is so much famous now. Everybody recommends it. But the only science we have behind it is that adrenaline boost we get in the morning. So that's it. So if you don't want to do it, do something that will give you adrenaline. Do something that is uncomfortable. What I would recommend is pick up a task that you want to finish first and you need a lot of willpower for that, and get on that task in the morning and just do it. Yeah, just do it. Any excuse that your brain gives you, don't listen to it. Just tell him that I'm going to do this for just 5 minutes, and then just start doing it. This is also the concept which is discussed in the book Eat That Frog. That book tells us that we should do our most hard work first. And the reason for that is after you complete your most big and important task, you have a lot of motivation, lot of dopamine, and lot of adrenaline in your body. So that helps to jump on to the second task and complete it too. And that gives you the morning flow that you need to carry your productive day, and which is a really helpful thing. And so this brings us to our third and final tip, which is scheduling. The habit of scheduling my day a night before has really helped me. Because when I wake up, I know how should I face my task. The habit of scheduling the night before has really helped my studies. And there is this quote that says, not able to plan is planning to fail. Because we are not organized, our brain is trying to get organized, plus it's trying to work, and plus we are putting pressure on it. So the work that we are doing is not getting anywhere. So if you don't schedule the night before, scheduling is the first thing that you should do in the morning. And I should say scheduling was a little bit easier for me, as I am really good at planning things, and which is a benefit for me. But it is a easy soft skill to learn, that you can learn yourself by seeing the mistakes that you make and correcting them next time. It's a really easy soft skill. And there are also many apps that help you schedule, like Google Calendar, Todoist, and there are many other softwares in your laptop if you want there. And there are also many iOS apps. And using them is not completely wrong, but you have to be a little careful, because your brain can distract you by giving the reason that we are just scheduling, and you could get distracted and spend an hour on TikTok or in Instagram, and which is a really big waste of time. And this is exactly the first mistake I did. Yeah, when I was getting into all this productivity thing, I had a really bad habit of checking my Instagram. I would tell myself that I am just going to schedule on the Todoist app, write all my tasks, and get to work. But that doesn't happen. I would slide off and get into Instagram because my brain was wired that way. If you touch your mobile, you have to go to Instagram. And I was just addicted, you can say, to a certain point. But then I stopped using Instagram for many months, and which was really helpful. And that when I started using Instagram again, it is more healthy. And there are still some times that I waste a lot of time there, but I'm getting over it. So that's there. But I hope that you don't make the same mistake that I did and get distracted by all these social media apps. Just cut them off on the focus mode on your mobile if you have it, or just switch off and keep it in some other room. Mobile phone are the biggest boon and the biggest disadvantage our generation have. So use it carefully. And the second most biggest mistake I did was beating myself up. I was some days doing so much work that I would have no energy left for the second day. And this is a really common mistake, and you should avoid it too. And now there would be some hustle culture fan, and I'm one of them too. But if you expect that you would one day wake up and be the best version of yourself, you are completely on a wrong path. You have to take it slow and use progressive overload that we use in the gym in your work and your productivity. Then it would be more helpful than thinking that you would suddenly able to do everything you aim for. The real productivity and motivation comes from improvement. You can't get to places using shortcuts, and the fake it till you make it narrative is completely false. It's more like make it and then fake it. Honestly, I was also using the fake it till make it narrative, but it clearly doesn't work, and it took me like 10 to 15 days to figure it out. I even downloaded a photo from Google that said fake it till you make it. Basically, I was thinking that if I act like I have cleared the exam already, I would clear the exam eventually. But that is clearly false. You have to perform like you are progressing towards the goal you are going to achieve, or the exam you are going to clear, or the work you are going to do. And that covers our second mistake. And now it's time for a third and the biggest mistake that everyone do, and that is thinking of productivity as a negative work or some kind of forceful thing that they have to do. No one is forcing you to do anything, but we need the right mindset to do something that we want to do or we want to achieve. And things don't go our way all the time, but we can actually bring the things in line that we want. And as stupid that it sounds, but it makes sense to me. It's so important to have a right mindset about productivity and working before going to work. Because if you're thinking that I'm going to do this work, go and play that game, then you're not really working. But if you have the mindset of completing the work for the goodness of the work, then that's called work. And productivity is just a tool that makes the work more efficient. That's all. Have a right mindset. Honestly, I am also figuring out what is the right mindset to have towards approaching our goal, towards our work, and I'm also learning things on it. And I have to say this, lectures of Jordan Peterson have really helped me in that. And that's it for the episode. I have given you 3 productivity hacks that I use and also 3 common mistakes that I made and everyone makes all the time. Now you can use this knowledge and increase your efficiency to a next level. The next episode will be coming out on Friday, and it would be about the mindset that I learned from lectures of Jordan Peterson on YouTube. I was planning of including that in this episode, but it would be more prolonged as this is our only first episode. So I would like to keep it as short as possible. For more updates, you can follow us on Instagram and also follow the podcast for upcoming episodes. I hope I have provided value to you. I will see you with more value in the next episode. Till then, peace out.